Ever wondered how the game of basketball started? It's a tale steeped in the chill of winter and the warmth of human ingenuity. It all began in the year 1891, in the heartland of Massachusetts, with a man named Dr. James Naismith. Dr. Naismith, a Canadian physical education instructor, was facing a predicament. The harsh winter weather had confined his students indoors, and he needed a way to keep them active without the rough physical contact of traditional sports. His solution? The birth of a brand new game, basketball. Naismith drafted 13 basic rules and nailed a peach basket onto the elevated track, and thus, the first basketball court was born. But the game back then was far from what we know today. Picture this, a soccer ball being tossed into a peach basket, no dribbling, no backboard, and every time a point was scored, someone had to climb up and retrieve the ball from the basket. Sounds a bit different, doesn't it? But despite its humble and somewhat peculiar beginnings, the game was an instant hit. The students loved it. The game was fast-paced, required strategic thinking, and most importantly, it was fun. It was a game that required finesse and accuracy rather than brute strength, making it a perfect indoor sport. And so, from the icy grips of a Massachusetts winter, a sport was born. A sport that would not only survive but flourish, spreading like wildfire through the United States and then the world, evolving and growing into the game we all know and love today. That's the beauty of basketball. It's a testament to human creativity and adaptability. It's proof that even in the face of challenges, or perhaps because of them, we can create something beautiful, something enduring. So that's how basketball was born, out of necessity, innovation, and a bit of improvisation. From a simple game designed to keep students active during the winter months, to a global phenomenon enjoyed by millions, basketball truly is a testament to the power of imagination and the human spirit. Now that we know how basketball started, let's delve into its early days. Basketball, the game that started with a peach basket and a soccer ball, soon began to spread like wildfire. The Young Men's Christian Association, better known as the YMCA, played an instrumental role in this. The YMCA's strong network allowed the game to reach countless towns and cities across the United States. From local YMCA gyms to school playgrounds, basketball found its way into the hearts of countless individuals. The colleges were not far behind. The first known college to field a basketball team against an outside opponent was Vanderbilt University, which played against the local YMCA team in Nashville, Tennessee, in 1893. The game quickly gained popularity in colleges across the country, and by the early 20th century, intercollegiate basketball tournaments were becoming a regular event. But it wasn't just men who were drawn to the game. In a time when women's participation in sports was still a contentious issue, basketball managed to break barriers. The first women's basketball game was played in 1892, less than a year after the game was invented. The game was modified to suit women's needs and was played with a smaller ball and 9 players on each side. The first professional leagues began to form as the 20th century dawned. The National Basketball League, or NBL, was formed in 1898, just 6 years after the game was invented. However, it was short-lived and lasted only 5 years. Despite this, it paved the way for future leagues and demonstrated the potential for basketball as a professional sport. From a simple game invented to keep athletes active during winter, basketball had evolved into a sport that was played in colleges and professional leagues. It had transcended gender barriers and was quickly becoming a national pastime. From college gyms to professional leagues, basketball was quickly gaining momentum. So how did we get from peach baskets to the NBA? Well, that's a fascinating journey that took us through decades of innovation and transformation. The NBA, or the National Basketball Association, was born in the summer of 1949. It was the result of a merger between the rival leagues, Basketball Association of America, and the National Basketball League. This union brought together the best teams and players under one banner, creating a unified platform that would shape the future of professional basketball. But the NBA was more than just a space for the most talented players to showcase their skills. It was a hotbed for innovation that pushed the boundaries of the game. One such innovation was the introduction of the shot clock in 1954. This 24-second timer revolutionized the game, quickening the pace and adding a new layer of strategy to each possession. Then, in the late 70s, the league introduced the three-point line, a move that would forever change the way basketball is played. Suddenly, long-distance shooting became a valuable skill, and teams started to strategize around this new scoring opportunity. The three-point shot added a thrilling unpredictability to the game, making comebacks more possible and victories more sweet. But no discussion of the NBA's impact on the modern game is complete without mentioning its star players. Players like Michael Jordan, who became a cultural icon and global ambassador for the sport. His high-flying dunks, clutch shots, and competitive spirit not only won him countless fans but also elevated the entire league. He was a phenomenon that transcended the sport, making basketball popular in corners of the world where it had previously been unknown. The NBA's influence has been so profound that it has transformed basketball from a niche sport to a global spectacle. It's a stage where legends are born, where innovation is constant, and where the love for the game is palpable. The NBA took basketball from a niche sport to a global phenomenon. Basketball isn't just a US sport, it's a global game. And the proof of this is seen in its inclusion in the most prestigious international sports event, the Olympics. Let's take a step back to the year 1936, when basketball first dribbled its way into the Olympic Games in Berlin. This was a significant milestone, not just for the sport, but also for its players and fans worldwide. That same year, the International Basketball Federation, also known as FIBA, was formed. The organization was tasked with overseeing international competitions and setting the rules for the sport. With the formation of FIBA, basketball's reach began to extend beyond the borders of the United States, and the game started to make its mark on the international stage. However, it wasn't until the early 90s that we saw the full potential of basketball's global appeal. In 1992, the United States sent the Dream Team to the Barcelona Olympics. This was the first time professional NBA players were allowed to participate in the Olympics, and the team was nothing short of legendary. Their performance on the court was mesmerizing, leading the team to an easy gold medal. But more than that, the Dream Team's presence in Barcelona had a profound impact on globalizing the sport. They sparked a new interest in basketball around the world and inspired a generation of international players who would go on to become stars in their own right. From the inclusion in the Olympics to the formation of FIBA and the success of the Dream Team, basketball has transcended cultural and geographical boundaries. It has become more than just a game. It's a shared passion, a common language that brings people together, no matter where they're from. Basketball has truly become a global game, a language that so many of us speak. So what's next for the game of basketball? As we gaze into the crystal ball, it's clear that international growth is a key part of the game's future. The world has fallen in love with basketball, and the love affair is only set to deepen. The sport's popularity is skyrocketing in countries like China, Australia, and across Africa, where new leagues are being formed and infrastructure is being built at an impressive rate. We're witnessing a global embrace of the game, with players from all corners of the world making their mark on the sport. And let's not forget about the rise of women's basketball. The game isn't just for the guys. Women are taking to the court in record numbers, and they're not just playing, they're excelling, they're inspiring. The Women's National Basketball Association, the WNBA, has seen a surge in popularity, with television viewership and attendance at games on a steady incline. The game is becoming more inclusive, more diverse, and that's a beautiful thing to see. Another exciting aspect of the future of basketball is the potential for new technology to change the game. Think about it. Virtual reality could allow for immersive fan experiences, allowing you to feel like you're courtside from the comfort of your living room. Advanced analytics could provide teams with unprecedented insights into player performance, potentially revolutionizing strategies and training methods. And who knows, maybe one day we'll even see holographic players on a digital court. The possibilities are endless. The future of basketball is bright, filled with promise and potential. It's a game that's always evolving, always growing, always thrilling. And as we look forward, we can't help but feel a sense of excitement for what's to come. From Dr. Naismith's peach baskets to the digital courts of the future, Basketball has come a long way, and we can't wait to see where it goes next. Let's recap what we've learned about the history of basketball. We've traveled through time, starting from the birth of this magnificent sport. Born in the late 19th century, it was the brainchild of Dr. James Naismith who, in his quest to create a game that could be played indoors during harsh winters, birthed a game that would eventually captivate the world. We then journeyed into the early days of basketball, a time when peach baskets served as goals and dribbling was non-existent. Despite its humble beginnings, the game's popularity surged, leading to the formation of various leagues and a standardized set of rules. Our journey then took us to the inception of the NBA, the pinnacle of professional basketball. We learned about the merger of the BAA and NBL, the formation of the NBA, and its evolution into an international spectacle. We also touched on how the NBA has been instrumental in shaping the modern game, with its influence extending beyond the borders of the United States. Next, we explored the globalization of basketball, particularly its impact on the Olympic Games. From its introduction as an official Olympic sport in 1936, basketball has become a global phenomenon, uniting people of diverse backgrounds and cultures. Finally, we peered into the crystal ball to envision the future of basketball. With advancements in technology and a continually evolving game, the future of basketball looks as bright as ever. The potential for growth is immense, and we can only imagine the heights this sport will reach in the years to come. And there you have it, the past, present, and future of basketball. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of the game we all love.